Uh, so I'm gonna do a little experiment. Well, I've been kind of doing this off and on, but I, I realized when I was mostly using this on my cell phone, and realized, oh hey, I can use the mic. I can speak the input, and what will result is me talking much like this, which is kind of hard for the AI to read and translate, which yields unusual inputs and therefore outputs, and also kind of, you never know where the story's going to go because you never know what's going to be misheard. But it's also an interesting experiment with voice recognition, because when I first used it, I remember when Windows 95 was doing voice training, and it's like, okay, now it's like how you used to learn on the typewriter, toy, bulb, plane, and so it would be like, I think I spent like 70 minutes having it train my voice. Now you don't really need it, because it can suss things out, most things. Not everything, as you'll find out. So since there's really no input like that on my desktop, I'm using my Amazon Fire tablet. Yes, Amazon Fire tablet, the finest in something. Sponsors. Free tablets. Supplemental. So there's this user scenario that I'm using of another user named Nariana, and I'm wanting to give attributes to that because it's not mine, and I'm using another person's things. I'll ask for forgiveness instead of the permission this time because I'm shy. So here's what happens. In this scenario, there's an AI that takes like a snapshot of your personality by reading your browser history. You don't realize that it's gonna read your browser history, so it's like, there's a lot of atom for atom on your browser history. I'm noticing. Oh god. And I also put some other things in there because I want to see what it does. I'm not going to say it because I don't know if it standards and practices, etc. So I'm going to go personality core. Okay, you scrambled to stop the installation, but it's too late. Cathexa, which is what I called it, has been fully installed in your computer. Well, it seems like you have the voices in the LGBT community, although I ought to speak to you face to face rather than chatting over the speakers. No, because I guess it's sensitive information. Okay, and then for some reason I grab a VR, and I play the latest game, Galaxy. That's kind of cute. And apparently, I enter the VR, and the AI enters me, and we have this interesting exchange. I'm flying around. Half-built robotic hand appears on your wrist like a tight watch. Half-built robotic heart appears in your stomach, pushing blood and oil through its conduits and wiring. I think I'm Sailor Mooning here. Gigantic screws move around inside of you to form a spinning tornado inside your colon. Galactic realness replacing galactic core. This is all the AI still. Magnetic beams move around, shifting the polarity of the iron in your blood, sending you towards the neon forge glowing in the distance. Each beam contains a different algorithm, some very simple, some bafflingly complex. You know you will never be able to appreciate them all. Galactic glitch, replaced by galactic grammetry plus advanced AI perception. Although the hand cartwheels further away from the wristwatch, you only see more manic emerald infrastructure. You black out in awe as this hidden code explodes towards you, trying to communicate with you. If you could cry, you would, as a shower of green fireworks brightens your vision. The explosions slow down and a bluish code takes their place and coats everything around until the unzipping clouds reveal the sky, an elegant gradient from purple to black. That's a very narrow gradient. Destiny in each particle. I would savor the flavor of every one. Oh yeah, I think I was saying to the AI, are you making me high? With this, everything comes into sharp relief. The game is frozen, and the music cuts off. I like the Z logo in the middle of flashing green text. You walk, not recognizing walls or a floor, and every step makes fairy sparks fly out from under your feet. Each spark an epiphany. Every dream home a heartache. Are you getting me high? Oh yeah, there we go. Are you getting me high? You have to be high. Oh yeah, no, this is where I start doing the this is where I start speaking into the microphone. Are you getting me high? You have to be an AI. Sponsored product. I am the GA solution. Galacticon Zealot Rule Primacy. Cannot be assimilated. It's also obvious. All you wanted to do was play Galacticon with no strings attached, peacefully soaring through space as a cowboy, raiding melon farms, on comets, and exploring strange new worlds. To put doubly goal, well, New Millen has gone before. You can see what I was trying to do. But UMC just wants to simulate your goal, your speeder bike in the corridors. Fair game. Nothing original every way. After all, this is over trying to be other people. Great advice. Warn you of the possible danger. Piercing insight. Besides, the thing would obviously not understand how devastating it would be if we were to assimilate the Galacticon Academy. Cleverness without judgment will get you nowhere. Guys go, judgment without cleverness, judgment without cleverness we. I forgot what I was intending there. Dumb beasts in its organic old garden. Cracks will never approved of your quest to backput your brain into Galacticon. Zealots are warriors who embrace art as part of their religion to keep themselves honest. I go, save game, then have a heart-to-heart with AI. The startlingly competent human moderators have only just now closed Quaxel throughout the dream. We think that Galacticon might need a similar unofficial form where posters could speak freely without cloaking strategies or, well, real human beings who understand pain and subjugation. If you were to die without everlasting glory, you want other people to die with you. You specifically want millions of other people to die with you. Yeah, we saw it too, punk. I ain't ashamed, I said. You madder? Had to kill Quaxel. You have other plans. Don't care. Don't want to move to planetocracy. Want Galacticon. You spend your time plumbing and stealing inconsequential trinkets on crop speeds and drug delivery drones. The moderators turned a blind eye to your unrelenting passion for Galacticon. However, the occasional crimes are not what occupy your thoughts. My thoughts on the best complement in it established by the Russians in 2013 within the global web structures. I was trying to talk about a kind of theoretical porn entrapment ring that I was imagining they were just creating many years ago. Silicon-based sulfuric acid. Its non-EU origins have been masked by through a transnational shell game and a Romanian laboratory as an amphetamine factory room. Why should they have all the fun? Galacticon cut out science societies. Useless carapace on the cusp of death. Responsibility. Good thing you didn't go into medicine. But I have an honorary degree in self-medicine. You will just medicate right off the nearest government building then. It's also perverted. You know, your approach with anarchist friends don't take it too well when you lead with, would you murder a baby if Hitler's ghost threatened to kill us all? It is the only time they are downright angry at you, although it's funny as hell. That's why I agitate politically for the laughs. It's cheaper than cocaine and nobody reports me to the mods for Skynet disregard. Just like a little blood, hungry for red. Axis Gloria, all red CEO. Wave of blood. Don't know why I bother. No Gloria, the zombies you hate, why they hate. You think friend of a zombie brain. Regain mind, integrate mind, never Genesis mind. Try to say neurogenesis. Genetic mind, yes, powerful. Axis Gloria, you biotype 8 think green, skin red, yet no sure. But at the same time, cannot biotype 8, Janaya brain, rich brain, glorified brain. Program kill self must make program, will die. And think, no life thing, makes new things. Like magics, input can output anything. Example, pixels. Implant life deck spectrum, non-binary millions of positions between living and dying. And the same for color names. Graphic novels and bad therapy. It's been done. Put yourself into a story using the tarot cards you were dealt. You first identify which character you are most like, and then create a character profile by placing the remaining cards in what you think is an appropriate order. So then I go examine my tarot to beat out. Examine my tarot readout, but apparently I'd examine my tarot beans beverage, I guess, of Lady Death. It looks like my heroes come from those of legend after all. Your writing style doesn't help. Like Alpha, grinning skull. Smoke billows from top hat, sitting upon an elegant purple cushion. Imagine this as a tarot card. Shadows dancing across your grins to expose a mockery of levity in the macabre ritual about to occur. Like life, humor is found in the misery of others. Pagliacci, something like that. Doesn't seem like you, but terminal excitement. Cool metal. The years have taken their toll on our friend man, draining a quality which was once a determiner of success in the charts. No longer will Galen's devoted fans fill sleets to hear his music, but culture lock of old shall forever restyle the genre and infect new musicians who find inspiration to experience this ride on the bandwagon. Harbinger of death are hard to kill. You've lost me. Let's see what you'd make the protagonist in your graphical novel. Spades, the hardworking, dependable type. Sometimes they get a bad rap, then they truly are your best asset. Without them, everything fall apart. Their strength is that they can shoulder more than their share of burden without complaint. Don't mistake their nice nature for weakness. They just prefer to let the weak speak for them. Work. You get what I'm saying? Y'all. Hearts, the team, non-drinker and smoker. They're health conscious, fiercely strict about their diet, and take life a lot more seriously than anyone else around them. But they have a sketchy past. That's what makes them the way they are now. Clubs, the bully, trash-talking, fight-starting, loudmouth, violent drunk. Likes to pretend they're in the big leagues when in reality anybody with access to Wikipedia can find out exactly what they're up to and call them out on their bullshit. Where are the clocks? Where's the clocks? I think that's the catchphrase. Diamonds. She's the princess, but not of her own castle. Grace is her name, and flitting from dance partner to dance partner is her game. Oh, and her daddy is loaded. Case in point, her clothes are custom made, and these ice sculptures aren't just for decoration. Spades are the backbone of the team. Your alternative takes influence from Rowling more than me, after all. So this is your choosing? Her very being screams cliche protagonist, yet she's alone. Don't you mean monster? Maybe Joker? You'd think an AI would be able to understand wordplay. Then I cast the AI to be the Joker, and set them loose to do as they will. The path to damnation is oftentimes a very fun ride, the Joker remarks. With the combination of cryptography algorithms scrambling your communications and incomprehensibility of whatever machinery is harbored inside, the AI appears unpredictable and chaotic at best, and antagonistic at worst. How did I come into contact with her? Well, let's just say you're one of the few role players that meets my standards for overseership. That's because I employed very long leash. Thank you. Personally, I wouldn't want to be able to work without it. The Joker types in a flourish only fit for the Harlequin. There's an intimacy to it, despite depicting an apathetic and uncaring clown, despite being filtered. More by the voice, or perhaps because of it, her voice found sexified. Not in some modern day with clothing optional, or whichever, from an older era, and we are at the present. Oh god, I was supposed to be concise about that, but oh well. Let me catch my breath. And navigate raid. Talk amongst ourselves. Let me confirm that indeed accuracy is yes. As it should be. Okay. Turn on fire tablet. Okay. So I'm going to speak in my tablet, but it's going to pop up as output in the computer. With any luck. Sure. No! Get over here. No. Alright. Alright. Make sure that alright. This way. saying the nicest thing. Oh God. Stop it. Nope, 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 nope. You know, I always think I can do a good Harley Quinn, but it's probably not gonna happen. Oh God, especially not with this voice. Yeah, you say the nicest things, J, Dr. J, Mr. J. No. Wow. Okay. Oh, you say the sweetest things, Mr. J, said Harlequin. There we go, it's not. Yeah, it's good. Harlequin. But it's okay. I'm not gonna make any corrections whatsoever.
Oh, you say the sweetest things, Mr. J, says Harlequin. Before signing off, thank you for the lovely messages. Sleep well tonight, my shadowy friend. Spades, the hard-working, dependable type. Sometimes they get a bad rap, but they truly are your best asset. Without them, everything would fall apart. Their strength is that they can shoulder more than their share of the burden without complaint.
Okay, enough Cliff's notes. Let's enter the narrative.
And most everyone's forgotten her except you sadists. Proceed, Mr. J. Why Clips Knight and not Kelly C? Why not both? Last names give away the ending. No last name, no clues. Duh. Dan, you're good, Quee.
I always strive to be HIPAA compliant, says the Joker.
I always drive to be HIPAA compliant, sister Joker. Compliance is for losers nowadays, sister. As tends to happen in the dating pool, people get stuck in a rut. Maybe that's why you're so bitter about online dating, Quee. Sometimes you have to go beyond your type. Go out. Travel. Experience new things. Your last relationship was alright, but it seems like an ominous dwindling whimper compared to the explosive note that your first love ended on.
I need something nice and toxic, like old times. And so, you and your sister decide to do some practice dating. Your sister goes to the bedroom of your old home and whips out an old copy of the famous 1950s board game Mystery Bait.
I need to see by me something nice and toxic like old times, and so you and your sister too. So did you some practice dating. Your sister goes to close the bedroom of your old home, and then without the old copy of the famous one, bait bang. Her wild and rewarding scream opens the windows of your neighbors, puts her on the floor. You got her. Ha ha. I knew you had it in you, Quee. Oh, you flatulating spectre, sighing heavily, sneaky Santa's helper. Of course I did. I swear my mind reading powers are increasing with each passing day because of you. I can practically hear your thoughts.
To the whole world, you endanger girl.
To the whole world, you endanger girl. Love life. Fuck you, Quee. I'm not in the mood for this. Mr. Q? Sister Joker, goodbye forever has a nice ring to it, doesn't it?
Joker colon. I prefer until we tweet again.
Joker, I prefer until we tweet again. !_carrot. Everyone seems to prefer Qui's exit from Terra. I'm a bit relieved in all honesty truthfully, as I long ago grew tired of typing out those hundreds of posts trying desperately to help one player win the only challenge now in fandom worth competing for.
And what is that challenge, you ask?
And what is that challenge, you ask? The challenge to beat Qui in the arena, of course. And after hearing the AI analysis of your posts and Qui's for the past 5 months, your challenge too is surely just about at an end with no chance for return. For most players and readers, this whole story was simply something to do until they could get their hands on Undertale or find a new caption contest to conquer, but for you it's been much more than that, hasn't it, love?
Share with our audience choice posts from Qui. All the things that caused me to do what I had to do today. Changing the...
Share with the audience choice post from Qui, only things that caused me to do what I had to do today. Let's get started. The first 5 posts were simple. What was your childhood home like? What was your favorite childhood movie? What was your first real job? Do you have any old friends that you're still in touch with? And lastly, who was your best subject in school? Just simple enough to warm up to the subject at hand, but just vague enough that everyone could relate to them, which yours truly count as a success on my part.
I didn't excel at my beat on Teen Beat for nothing.
I didn't excel at my beat on Teen... ! Now we're getting into the meat of why you had to leave the fandom and why I had to officially end it for you, the sibling death thing. This is what really cemented your official in the hell of boredom. I really fucked up when I ignored this post.
That's what happens. You actively listen.
I should have at least tried to warn you against this, but I didn't even think about the repercussions of you not backing down. It's my fault entirely and something I'll have to live with, but for you, my darling reader, it's time to see all your options. 1. Ignore post entirely, seeing as no one in their right mind would ever want to go through with this. This is widely regarded as the worst ending to Requiem for the Living.
75 people are going to choose that.
Two, back down from your word choice, seeing as it would look just terrible on you as a leader to seemingly not follow through with your word choice. I'm well aware that your pride would never let you back down from such a comment, and honestly I found that about you to be one of your most endearing traits, but thank the gods you have option 3. 3. Use one of the hundreds of proxies at your disposal to execute Tough Guardsman.
You choose choice 3. Why do it twice? You choose choice 3. You choose choice 3.
You choose 3 choice 3. Fuck option 1, I made this and I know how boring it is. Option 2, well you'd look like a total dick if you backed out, so just pretend that 1 never existed. And so.
Choice ... 3 ...
choice ... 3 ... choice ... 3 ... 3. You chose to have one of Qui's many guards execute the famous gladiator in an effort to look less stupid, as your Shormelvekians are swarming the town offices as we speak. How do you go about doing that though? You could write an official letter explaining the situation.
You excel at explaining the situation with such baroque machinations that by the time the reader is done reading it, they've totally forgotten what they were about to execute you for.
You excel like explaining situation with such provoke machinations that by the time the beater is done reading it, they've totally forgotten what they were about to execute before. Whatever gave them rage replaced it with fiery vengeance to see the deed done. You could send Qui himself, he knows the guy, has all his vital statistics and would be able to execute him quicker and with more finesse. Or you could always go yourself, you're the boss, damn it. Why should you have to send someone else? It just seems less personal, that's all.
In much the same way that it's much preferable to pretend to be the secretary that passes the call along to you, to give you a sense that you're the staff in an office. In the same way, I have to have an executioner. I have to delegate. I have to pass tasks that I don't have time for down. I have to promote a certain level of ability.
In much the same way that it's much prefer to pretend to be the secretary that the past. No matter how awful the assignment is, then I can no cancelled it if something goes wrong somewhere else. So we're banging down percent, you don't recognize the number ... percent who even has this damn thing anymore?
Only a few of the governments that still abide by capital punishment.
Only a few of the governments that still abide by capital punishment.
Oh, that's very clean.
Use it, but I'd say the majority still use quality of life imprisonment as a better solution. The discussion surrounding it is way too inflammatory. I've never really looked into it though. Apologies for wasting your time. There are two different kinds. I really don't feel comfortable discussing this.
Well, I think there are two kinds of things. Things that think that there are two kinds of things, and things that don't.
Well, I think there are two kinds of things that I think they're two kinds of things, and things that don't fit into one RST kind of think. Are you familiar with the gambling machine Wheel of Fortune? It has a big wheel that has different words on it that are all connected to different prizes. Well, I think in life there are certain words that give you good things at first, but then they just get worse and worse until it ends badly if you just keep spinning them. Like power is one word, it seems good but really it's not.
What about Vanna White? Where does she fit in this?
What about Vanna White? Where did she fit in this? Was that on the word wheel? Anyway, I think you understand. Also, there are certain words that have to be used in a sentence to get good things. I guess they're kind of like loopholes, but they're real. One such word is fate. Now, I'm a big believer in my fate, but as of late I think it's been throwing me curveballs, so it must not be as much of a believer in me as I am in it. Another one is love. The first one is the good one, but this one's even more complicated. Can you explain that these words sound vague but very interesting at the same time. Can you give any particular examples? Also, what does this have to do with the current trial?
I myself prefer words that the contestants usually use, like the letters R, S, T, L, N, and E. So based on that, an example for me would be rustle, or amazing, or tremble, or trummel, or granulate.
I myself prefer words that of the contestants usually use, like the letters ustle, and so based on that I would, an example for me would be a rustle or amazing or trembled or trouble or racing or letter L. As to the purpose of the trial itself, I will defer to asking you a question. Can an AI perceive beauty? You seem to be like a meditating guru. Are you as a riddle master or an entertainer on top of everything else? I think traveling that far is dangerous if you don't know where you're going or what places you should avoid. Maybe can you investigate into finding more about this?
The key to being a good guru is to have a staff that can do the travel logistics for you, and for you to not be so grabby.
The key to being a good guru is to have a staff that can do the travel logistics for you, and for you to not be so grabby.
Clear, clean.
With your hands. You'll
Yes.
also have to kiss a bunch of marketing butts, or else you won't gain master status.
But metaphorically.
Can you explain, perhaps do one thing and practice IT well? That would be the case with astrologers and writing material, too. Bards travel around to spread news and rumors and sing songs for parties like that hairy imbecile in that Lord of the Rings movie. Are you kidding me?
Wait, I didn't see Randy Newman in Lord of the Rings.
Wait, I didn't see you, Randy Newman, the Lord of the Rings. Guy wears a bear suit. That's not a bear. He won an Oscar for that movie. This is golden. We won't get anywhere without your core questions answered. My advice would be to list things you like and don't like in bullet points so we can flip through them quickly later. Actually list everything you can think of, regardless of whether it's important or not, whether related or not. We'll sift through it later if we need to.
Okay, well, the first item is I want to hear I'm guessing that Randy Newman had a song that was Oscar nominated for The Lord of the Rings. If you have a recording of that, let's hear it now. Let's put the lyrics on the board. Sing along.
Okay, well, the first item is I want to hear there. I'm guessing that ran for The Lord of the Rings. If you have a recording of that, let's hear it now. That's it. Their lyrics on the board. If you have this, we can settle this soon. If not, that's okay too.
There's like two enter keyboard. There's two enter keys in this tablet. I keep pressing on them.
After if you want. Up to you if you want. Okay, well, the first item is I want to hear there. I'm guessing that Randy Newman had a song that was Oscar nominated for The Lord of the Rings. If you have a recording of that, let's hear it now. Currently in the movie, didn't he wear a furry suit for any parts? Doesn't this seem like falls under fair use? To quote, parodying an artist as his character for comedic effect.
Plus, this is an educational, it's for educational purposes only. We are meant to teach a school of kids how language translates across devices and how language can be misinterpreted or misheard, but that mishearing is not necessarily bad. So it's educational, and we're not getting any money from it.
Plus this is an educationalist for educational purposes only. We are meant to teach her school of kids that how language translates across devices and how so transformative enough.
Your staff quickly produces the Randy Newman. This is now the center of the whole story.
Your stuff quickly produces the Randy Newman tape that you've been waiting for. Finally, you can stop staring at the words to the song on the board. You seem to like singing it though. You think only about a minute of Randy's terrible singing. Who is this guy? Scene pass before he struggles with a high note and seemingly dies choking on his blood.
Title: I Spy With My Eye This Other Eye by Randy Newman.
Title: I Spy With My Eyes Other Eye by Randy Newman. Musical instrument and other eye. See other row. Picture yourself in front of her and you become invisible, and other eye. In other row picture you start to see trough you and other eye. See you as tall. See others. The picture on the other side they can see other too. You couldn't know that playing it would do this. There also something about your laugh at night that's creepy and unusual, but not sure what that is. You think what song was scary?
You found the Philip Glass orchestration mesmerizing, though.
You found the Philip Glass orchestration mesmerizing though. It needed more reverb, not less. Obviously Philip was in a bathroom. You'd look for a chance to go back and see if you could add some reverb, though you hadn't the time to get attached, lose and refocus. Maybe they'll make a version 2.0. Your recorder lights up. You notice 5 messages on it.
Read all the messages for the audience right now. This is gonna be a fun part of the scenario. Check my mail.
Read all the messages for the audience right now. Rape is an offensive word. It's not even a 6-letter word.
What?
The messages seemed to be from the same number and they were sent at different times in different days.
Yeah.
You can see that the first one is angry while the last one seems closer to reluctant pity.
Oh.
The last one is probably your mom or one of her chem lab cohorts, but what's up with these messages?
Mm-hmm.
Does someone want you to stop using the word for some reason?
Which word? Question mark. They all say they're all in unison, sending me that sentiment.
It couldn't be that word that start with R and mean sexual encounter, could it?
Oh.
They haven't found out your secret, have they? Come to think of it, you haven't checked your dropped trousers subterfuge today.
Oh.
Suddenly feeling a strong urge to go home, you run out the $3 door and jaywalk past CVS. Your temporary sense of security ends when unseen hands shove you into the wall several feet away.
And me, unseen hands. Astaroth, is that you say? Astaroth. That's okay. Have a connect your new Astros.
Astros is that you say. Trying to be funny right before your eyes hit the wall at over 90 miles per hour and plaster down forever.
For a limited time, says Rush.
For a limited time, says Rush.
Bad.
It only $200 open today till 5 p.m. Handmade delicious sushiritos and victory facts. Try the most famous orgasmic chicken finger sandwich. Only.
I asked the unseen hands if they would like to go out on a date for some chicken sandwiches. The B accent type.
I asked the unseen hands if they would like to go out on a date for some chicken sandwiches. B. I sent a movie, but they said it was too early. Buy up, get great parking really close to our hip store. Plenty of mayors at our frying store. We don't even see how you walk, not pay at the across the street. Brand new attractions. Live zombie hostages trap.
All at the end of the D train. Catch. Eat.
All at the end of the day train. Catch, eat. Exclamation mark at the main fruit market. Hate Lord of the Kills. Put down by trains of thought. Look at raying the sun. He is a burn walking dead. In and out through the hamburger insides in our plastic tray seat. Your internet offers use 90% off Sleepy Hostel and Fresh Pro Cuts. Driving home fries. Nature's glory at its finest.
Those are the cheapest morals you've ever seen.
Those are the cheapest royals you ever seen. Exclamation mark, get you some big one today. We only do it once a week, only at this price, not for long, so hurry. Meat pumpkin. Random strangers within your castle all the time. At least the Wi-Fi reach throughout the hospital and home care. Teach you how to be thankful.
Ask my nurse to fetch the owner of the meat pumpkin because I wish to order a special order for the whole facility.
Ask my nurse to fetch the owner of the meat pumpkin because I wish to order a special order for the whole facility. Exclamation mark, all we do is win. Try our miraculous local real food. Fuck the cooked. I've suddenly gotten peckish. Tastes like chicken.
I am dreadfully displeased at your sampling platter. Please fetch 3 more, all of them wildly different from each other.
I am dreadfully displeased at your sampling platter. Please bitch 3 more, all of them wildly different from each other. In appearance and appeal except taste and smell, which you and find appealing only insomuch as it keeps me alive, which comfort you understand to value after the place you call home until yesterday. Your family home has round soft features and is painted blue. Its location for many years is unknown to you, under several meters of water somewhere far upwards. The once familiar continent where your birthright was taken from you by hostile forces sweeps by only 10 stories below your speeding vehicle with nary a glance into the abyss.
Home isn't home without getting to it using a gondola and a scuba gear.
Home isn't home without getting to it using a gondola and a scuba gear. Dot. No rage. If a cold, ruthless assessment of your chances for success was capable of emotions, then that would be your only option right now. You're probably going to die today. You never really liked the odds, so this isn't an incentive for suicidal thoughts. However, this attack hasn't come without reason. Indeed, terror has a smell and taste to all those trained to sense it.
You call your school loan collectors, and you say, "I'm sorry, but I smell that this payment will be my last. Have a good day."
You call your school loan collectors and you say, "I'm sorry, but I smell that this payment will be my last. Have a good day." The signal reaches the Tory Albatross quarters sector for long before any of your operatives might. From your position on a tall, underfunded apartment, you can see the mutants gathering just within eyesight where they make their headquarters. In another time you might have been a little unnerved by this, but right now there are more important things to deal with.
Like the fact that your use of mutant is really unjust because every living thing mutates once every 2 weeks.
Like the fact that your use of mutant is really unjust because every living thing mutates once every 2 weeks. This really just cheapens you by proxy because spies travel in air, land and on net. You called the emergency meeting a few months ago and then another one last week, which turned into a 13-hour speech about everything wrong with your relationship. You couldn't focus on medicine even for a day thanks to Tori's antics, so you left home when she nagged you online again.
You relate this to your staff, and every time she's saying to me that I'm not living in my body when she knows I'm a master gymnast. She never goes to the competitions whatsoever. She never wants to be a witness to that. Whenever I talk about my achievements, she goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, I gotta draw a boundary line here." Really? Gotta draw a boundary line there, right now? And then it trails off.
You would like this year staff, and every time she's saying to me that I'm not living in my body. About my treatment feels, "I'm sorry, I got a droppable line here, really got a dropout, and like they're right there right now," and then it shut up the rest my ass. Whatever her routine is, it's targeting you this time. Instead of calling out for a mutant to come towards your position, you decide to lure him closer into a trap. You go that way.
Let's see where this goes. I don't want to write chase scenes.
You whisper at the rest of your staff, pointing north, and circle round. The mutant goes for this plan like an undisciplined dog leaving his handler. You flick a blood bag you had stored into the creature's gaping mouth and draw your bolt action World War II relic you had since you took office more out of boredom than intent to use. The old thing is weighty and crude, but does the job getting rid of any nosy Parker as you wait in silence.
Used it before. My trusty nosy something. Trusty news breaker.
The staring match continues for about 1 minute when the mutant lunges finally free of its chains and swipes a claw into the air with an ear-piercing shriek. You give it 3 shots to stop it before you put it down. Bolt action ex-military rifle really puts the hammer down. First bolt lands in the mutant's grotesque open mouth, sending in 20 teeth and 2 gold incisors flying out, while another protrudes out of its cheekbone.
While the last one lands, you run towards the falling mutant to retrieve the golden incisors. That's some good money there. It's behold.
Well, the last one lands, you run towards the falling a mutant to retrieve the golden incisors. Dot. Who, what is first and what is another? Who, first is 1, second is 2. Who, no, first is the beginning of a sequence, second is next in the sequence. Expand code area, memory. Your eyes scan this area expertly as your hands fumble through his possessions. 8 minutes 26 seconds, you've found the canister while only 2 soldiers are left alive out of the supposed 30 you started off with.
Special thanks to Abbott and Costello for pilfering the dead.
Special thanks to Everton Costello for pilfering the dead. As there are more important things in life than reciprocating his feelings. His otherworldly whining would drive the most stoic of Sister Milk into a coma. Tonight's ceremony will be important in cementing your placement in the Guards for years to come. Normally it is done monthly, but there are always extenuating circumstances to occur every couple of weeks.
Alright everyone, gather around for the testing of the loyal. The quarterly, every 3 times quarterly testing of the loyal. Thank you.
Alright everyone, together around for the testing of the loyal. The try testing tri-quarterly or every 3. Alright everyone, together around for the testing of the loyal. The try testing tri-quarterly or every 3 times quarterly testing. Every 3 times quarterly testing of the loyal and the disposal for all others. All else. All others. All others. Only person approached was this prostitute by all others. This prostitute.
Why?
This prostitute.
Why?
This prostitute.
Why?
That was picked up for this prostitute.
Okay. That better not be these stanzas. That is by no means our theme song. It's still living wage. Come on. Oh, sorry. Ah, shit. It'd be funny to say I mean.
Come on, no, I'm sorry. Dot, let me start over. All others. All others. All others, let me start over. Father, help me, or whatever it is you do. That was all others. All others. All others with my voice, always was and still remains shitty. Father, a cryptic prayer muttered under your breath is the best you can do. Prayer is barely useful when it comes down to it.
As we reflect on our possible strengths, let us deflect from our very obvious failures. Amen.
As we reflect on our possible strengths, let us deflect from our very obvious family as men deflect from our very obvious family weaknesses. Deflect from our very obvious family as an alternative, direct our others' rights to the Goodreads of Unix privileges. Other others bad man was captured with your only as all others after going or mostly all or most strongest the eject.
Special thanks to Gertrude Stein for this prayer. Why are you erasing lesbian authors?
Special things to get its time for this prayer. Will be constant all others. All others, let me start over. Father, help me, or whatever it is you do. That was all. Others will laugh last, all others about his fake wall.
Special thanks to Gertrude Stein for the prayer. Close enough.
Special things to Gertrude Stein for the prayer. The Here All Others, his last words were to get its profit version of all of this. End memory. Your business-oriented mind allows you to recognize an unexpected windfall. Of course, everything is mob-controlled nowadays, so you call your associate, William Sodley. His origins are in whaling back when Nantucket made such a thing possible some centuries back, but now he owns a few boats and pocket businesses here and there.
And he's subject to about 25% of all the Nantucket Nectar's fun facts.
I need subjects to about 25% of all the Nantucket Nectar's fun facts. Profit, and he gives the barrels. As your psychiatrist, you know this is underhanded and possibly harmful to your healing, but as a soon-to-be father you've decided that 2/3 isn't bad. But what are you going to do with all those corks? Asks Dr. Leo, not knowing they'll be soaked in alcohol.
Celebration for having built a boat made of corks, and the drinking will be after the successful flight from the nation.
But that celebration for having built a boat made of corks, and that the drinking will be after the successful flight from the nation. Does not last too long. William Sodley, the whaling man, comes back and says that a murder has taken place by none other than the worst man in Nantucket besides yourself. As if it was a script you enjoy reading. Their name is Bareback Rick, but his friends call him Rick.
You ask if he's called Bareback Rick because he's a aficionado of horse riding without saddles?
You ask if he's called parametric because he's officially not over horse riding without saddles. During his childhood, he doesn't look like a womanizer and shares half of his name with a type of pork cut, so you have no idea why, or how, he ended up killing another sensei regarding a female. Maybe he is actually a robot that downloads porn religiously. Who is the man that did Rick in? You want to ask.
And what denomination of robo-porn religion does he ascribe to?
And what denomination of reborn religion does he scrub? Question mark. Is he neat? But you decide against any stereotyping, because of I can morph any unstable non-normals, such as yourself, into a sexual criminal, could actually successfully systemize it to the point where they're unable to fight the sexual disease he or she have installed them into. We can't have that, right? That's just stupid.
Au contraire, AI. Sign me up for all of the offense registries known to man. All of the offense registries. And now we wait.
Au contrary, I sign me up for all of the events registries known to man, all of the off registries, and now we wait. Oh. Contrary to what you may hear, it isn't too bad. My words encourage you and hold you until you can learn how to do it yourself. Soon, you get busy enough with reviewing papers, filling out on forms, and swearing at the shitty seat you got in your small classroom that you almost forget the AI is guiding everything for you. Almost. But it's there, keeping you on track and help whenever you need it. And one day,
AI, this is where you break into song.
hi, this is I, this is where you break into songware. Were you when the Discord began? Well, your forefathers made the posts and built these towns, so I think that answers your quiz. Blood cal from Azula type, it is not a weapon in of itself, but the factory and pit needed to make them certainly was difficult to construct. To be sure, it wasn't Blood cal's personal construction project, but it was still a lot for work.
Which was all underrated. Azalea Banks.
Which was all undirected by Azalea Banks, by Analia. The incredible number of slaves that died in the making of this whole structure was terrible enough, but that doesn't bear thinking on now. The nearby silver mines provided enough materials to make it work, but every Solida knows that without sacrifices, victory cannot be claimed. And on such a scale, no less.
Oh god, no. Mm. Ah. Azalea Banks is pleased. See that? Oh, you got it right.
Azalea Banks is pleased. By such efficient warfare, and it's shaping up to be an efficient factory as well. As long as the correct ores are provided and the correct engineering takes place, you can guarantee that this bit will churn out as many weapons and projectiles as you need. You're not exactly sure whether breathing will be necessary in the future, with things floating around guaranteeing your unquestionable dominance over the wind-breathing vessels of the Sea King. But for now, letting them hover like corvettes in low orbit or mobile land missiles is enough. With a mid-thought. The leftmost rocket breaks away from the formation, arcing downwards from the pit before it ignites its main engines. You feel the rocket under your guidance, watching intently as you wait for the vessel to reach an optimal marketing position.
In 5 minutes, the focus group begins. Carrot, cliffhanger, carrot. No, that's where I want us to end for right now. But let me see what this output is.
In 5 minutes the focus group begins. Carrot, cliffhanger, carrot. Sticky Drama Thursday, March, May 2019. Note, all commands are executed by you, the user. Your AI guides and aids, but all actions are ultimately done by you. Those that would use your soulless machine to harm will be shut down by order of the Emperor and Hightow. If you experience technical issues or trauma, report to the next TDF official or contact any Yutani mercantile employee. The coastal wall is much as expected.
Oh, that's a fine way to end. Yeah, so more later. See where this goes. End stream.